tell us why you think immigrants come to the U.S.?
Better opportunities, more freedoms.
For a better life because they can't get it in their own country, and better jobs because they can offer it there in their own country.
I would think those would probably be the two biggies.
In developing countries, we all have ideals about America.
I believe that they come to receive a better opportunity in life.
America is the land of opportunity, and fortunately for some of us, we have been able to come legally.
Possibly be able to have health care for their children, to find jobs, and be able to just better their life.
Some people who have decided to come here illegally, do it because of their circumstances, and because they also want to follow their dreams, participating in the life of America.
What is the American dream? After asking several of my family members, the most common response, similar to those of the film, was that the American dream for an immigrant is to someday obtain a green card, get wealthy, to open a business of their own, and for their family to be better off economically and at educational level. Being the son of immigrant parents, I can confirm that mostly all undocumented people sacrifice themselves by working long hours, underpaid and laborious hard jobs, seeking better opportunities for their children, but sometimes it is taken for granted. Their parents might sometimes go through humiliation not only for being here in the US illegally, but for also having low income, which doesn't allow them to buy luxury items. People in society also have the tendency, the habit to judge one another for any particular reason. Experiencing belonging in my neighborhood has helped me shape my understanding of social justice. Here's a brief story. I used to live in a community which mainly composed of Hispanic and African Americans. I don't think there were, and still today aren't, many white people in those communities. It wasn't a very safe place for children to grow up either, but one eventually accommodated to the surroundings and the living conditions. There were daily visits by helicopter and patrol officers, lots of gang activities, prostitution, and the sale of drugs. It was also common for people to get stopped and checked by the police officers. When this happened, people would whisper to one another, "Look at that cholo," or "Look at that gang member." The local elementary which I attended wasn't the greatest, but with the help of great teachers, it was just enough to get a proper education. Many times teachers lacked materials and went their own way by spending some of their own money to get what we needed. Because the area was very negatively impacted, it affected some of the students. It was common to see kids wearing baggy clothing and some even bald trying to gangbang. But some of these students that followed that ongoing fashion were actually very smart and just wanted to fit in with the rest. I remember two families that lived in my block. Both of them were composed of illegal immigrant parents and kids who were citizens by birth. I remember that for both of those families, the mother and father worked as I usually saw them on my way to school. Both of these families' children went to the same elementary school which I attended. I especially remember their sons who were my classmates, Jesse and Mike. Both of them wore baggy clothing and were intelligent and well-behaved students, but people often confused them for thinking that they were gang members. From one day to the next, Jesse began imitating the local gang members' dress code, talking back to anyone who confronted him and to skip school. While he was out on the streets, his parents continued to work hard, thinking about the well-being of their children. Mike, on the other hand, began to dress differently and focus more on school. It was the 4th of July when this tragedy happened. Jesse's family was outside their front lawn, eating carne asada, having a great time watching fireworks, when suddenly the noise of tires burning, followed by a loud bang of gunshots, filled the air of our block. Jesse had been hit by several bullets and sadly passed away. His affiliation with gang members had led to his death. Everyone was devastated, especially his parents, who expected a better life for him. The experiences and witnessing some dramatic events have helped me understand that even amongst the same race, people have the habit to judge one another by their appearances, the way they dress, the cars they have, and by the way they talk. Even in the legal level, stereotyping and misjudgment are common practices. It is also unfair for schools to be mistreated just because of their location and the neighborhoods that surround them. Kids have the right to proper education, but most schools located in South Central Los Angeles are less likely to obtain full funding compared to those located in better areas such as Beverly Hills. Many for parents, legally documented or undocumented, work hard to make their dreams come true, and to see us, their children, prosper, but some don't take it into consideration or care about the harsh working conditions and or mistreatment that they might go through under each stay.